Get ready.
This is the voice of Wayne America.
Lighten up, Francis.
With your host,
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Mike Carnes.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers?
My height.
Only at WayneAmerica.com.
The supernova's gonna kill us all.
Okay, this guy is the real zero, that's true. Let's just think back when you guys were freshmen, huh?
.com.
Greetings and welcome to the Voice of Wayne America podcast, an exclusive here on WayneAmerica.com. I'm Mike Carnes, your host for the big show here, where we talk about things going on in the best town in all of America, and that's right here in Wayne America. I want to thank our sponsors from Providence Medical Center for their support of the program. And we are in the midst of election season here in all of America for that matter. And here in Wayne, we have some local races that we wanted to highlight here on the Voice of Wayne America podcast. This is the second of three podcasts in this series. And our first podcast, we featured the Ward 4 City Council race, and this time around is the Ward 1 City Council race between Rod Greve, who's the incumbent, and Chris Woehler, who's running for the seat as well. And guys, thanks for stopping by and being a part of the podcast here.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Rod, we'll start with you. Introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what you do.
I'm Rod Greve. I'm a Ward 1 City Councilman, and what I do, I'm a fabricator at Great Dane right now. I've been there for about 25 years, and I grew up in Wakefield.
Okay. And Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Chris Woehler. Grew up here in Wayne, was raised in Wayne and always been in Ward 1 entire life. I graduated high school in 2001. After high school, I ended up joining the military, and I've previously still in it for 17 and a half years. Once I got back from basic training, I ended up going to Northeast Community College and getting a building construction degree. And after that, I came back and bought into a family business that's been in business for 40 years, and I've been now a business owner for 20 years with my father and my other brother. And in between time, I had to serve in Iraq between 05 and 06. So I've got experience of a lot of military in my background. My family's military, and I'm also married and been married for 9 years and I have 3 kids.
All right. Well, our first question, and Chris, we'll start with you on this one. What or who inspired you to run for the city council, and why do you want to be the Ward 1 City Council representative?
A lot of it comes down to the history that I have, the background of construction that I do. I do work for a lot of different cities, and I deal with a lot of different city administrators, and I get a lot of questions always. Are we doing the right thing? What way should the city go? How should we, move on to be a better city? And I see, the city of Wayne is doing an outstanding job compared to some other towns that I work with. And I guess I'd just like to get on board and help out and see what else we can do to keep improving the town and make sure we stay ahead of the 8-ball and not always behind the 8-ball like some of these other towns are.
Okay. Rod, you're on the city council right now. What inspired you to get on the city council? And
I've always been in government, like from high school, student council. I was in college Republicans at Wayne State. Just always been interested in it. And the mayor, they needed somebody in Ward 1, and I asked the mayor, I said, I'd be happy to fill in. And I've been there ever since. I've been on the council for 6 years now.
Okay.
I loved every minute of it.
All right. Well, we'll go with you, Rod. What do you see as the most pressing need Wayne faces in the next 4 years, and how does the city council help address that need?
Well, Wayne's been lucky. We've had a lot of people come in and start businesses, successful businesses, that attracted people from other towns in there. And I think we need to keep that up. We need to, as the infrastructure improves, we need to make sure that we take care of our area businesses and bring in outside people.
Okay. Chris, what do you see as the most pressing need the city faces the next 4 years?
I see lots of growth in the housing market, and if you look at the future, in 4 years we'll be out of lots for affordable lots. The only way that can be done is by putting infrastructure out there and keep improving the infrastructure in the older part of towns to move out farther. Because if you don't have housing, you won't have businesses to have employees, and that's what we see right now. A lot of our employees are traveling out of town, so the market of the housing market's gone up. We've been building a lot of homes lately, but the rate we are building at in 4 years will be out of affordable lots.
Okay. Well, that kind of ties in the next question. I'll start with you on this, Chris. Infrastructure obviously is one of the most vital elements to a city's sustained growth. What, I guess, looking at some of the infrastructure issues we have in the community, what do you think is the first item on the city's to-do list, and how does that get addressed?
The first item is actually would be close up the lagoon, finish the lagoon project. That's one issue I see the city has and the council is they get projects started and they kind of draw them out too long. The lagoon's been in phases. They need to be closed up. So the first major infrastructure is finish the lagoon project, and then the second is already in process is to work on the water transmission main, because once you lose the transmission main, that is a little over 30 years. I was a young kid when my dad worked on that going into town, and its life is only 50 years, and we've done repairs on it. So that is one of the major issues. If Wayne loses water, we lose businesses / unhappy people.
Exactly. Rod, what do you think from an infrastructure perspective is first on the to-do list?
Well, we have like a lot of aging transformers that are some are 40 to 50 years old that we need to get on replacing or at least have backup ready. So even some of our city streets are in really terrible condition. We need to address that big time.
Okay. Rod, this question is for you. Attracting people to town, particularly younger people, is a challenge for a community like Wayne. Talk about, or what are your thoughts about the city working with maybe the school, the college, Wake County, or other entities on coming up with ideas for improving or creating new facilities that will draw people to the community?
Wayne's done a pretty good job of doing that so far. I mean, we've built a lot of stuff in the last 5 or 6 years, but I mean, it's hard to get everybody on board, like when you have so many people involved.
Mm-hmm. And Chris, what are your thoughts about bringing people to town and working with some of these entities?
Always bringing people to town is what we're after. The main thing is I pinpoint is one of the main ones that would bring a lot of people to town would be doing an indoor pool, and that is when you can join in with the schools, you can join in with Wayne State College on that. My theory is more you can combine with money between college funds, between city funds, and between school funds, you can get a better facility, use more often. And the benefit of combining with everything is your rates will be a lot reasonable. And the main thing with an indoor pool that I really want to push is if you look around within 30-mile radius of Wayne, there is no indoor pool. And we're doing a big project over in Norfolk that 90% of people that did a survey for YMCA over there, and they're a member of the YMCA because of an indoor pool. And that'll help out our activity center, and it'll draw your local communities around here to come use our activity center / our indoor pool. And once they're here, they'll spend money at the gas stations, spend money at restaurants. So you get more people involved in a project, you'll see better results.
Okay. Chris, this question will be for you to start. The business community here in Wayne has really grown and is a very strong business community, particularly in the downtown area. As a city council representative, what do you believe the city's role should be in drawing potential business and industry to the community?
Well, the role is always to help out new businesses to come to town, make sure the infrastructure is there for them, there's spots for them. But you also got to remember, you can't forget about the businesses that are established in the downtown areas, the older infrastructure areas, because they're the ones that brought the heart of the community here and keeps a lot of people here. I'm not 100% for always just attracting new businesses. I think a lot of people, when they go look at that, they forget about the old ones, and a lot of the old ones need help too as they grow, just add on to get more employees. It takes just as much to get new businesses does to keep the same old ones.
Okay. Rod, excuse me, Rod, what are your thoughts on this?
I have to agree, like, we need to rehab some of the stuff that we have. Like, we're always concerned about building and adding on and expanding and everything. There's older homes and there's older businesses that if we could help them, in any way we could, it'd be great, to expand or like storefront, even improve their storefront, just to improve traffic so people stop in.
Okay. Well, we've kind of gone through all the questions here with Chris Woehler and Rod Greve, both running for the Ward 1 City Council seat on the Wayne City Council. And before we do our closing comments here, I wanted to give a shout out to our advertiser here on Voice of Wayne America podcast at Providence Medical Center in Wayne. They're proud to announce the addition of a new surgical procedure that they now offer at the hospital called shoulder arthroscopy. And this surgical procedure is for those who have rotator cuff injuries, where the surgeon inserts a tiny camera and the necessary instruments through small incisions in the shoulder rather than doing an open procedure with a large incision. Dr. Joseph Caro specializes in orthopedic surgery for Providence Medical Center. He is the team physician for Wayne State Athletics and also offers his expertise at multiple high schools in the area. For more information, check out Providence Medical Center's website at www.providencemedical.com. That's Providence Medical Center, extraordinary care rooted in compassion. Here on the Voice of Wayne America podcast, a special series of podcasts concerning Wayne's city government, and our interview on this podcast is with our Ward 1 candidates, Chris Woehler and Rod Greve, and we're kind of in our closing comment mode here. So, Chris, we'll let you start here with your final pitch to the listeners for the Ward 1 race for City Council.
I'd like to thank everybody that is going to listen to this and take it in consideration that both of us candidates do care about the community, and that's the main thing. Is it it takes somebody that cares to make something work. So I do appreciate you guys listening, and take care.
All right, Rod, you get the last word on this.
Well, in the last 5 or 6 years, I've had a really good time. Met some really good people, some really intelligent people. And I've learned a lot. And sometimes it's been tough. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've made some tough decisions, but it's been great, and I've loved every minute of it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Voice of Wayne America, and this is, as we said, the second in a series of 3 podcasts concerning the Wayne elections that are coming up here next month. And I want to thank Chris Woehler and Rod Greve for taking the time to talk with us here on this edition of Voice of Wayne America podcast. And guys, good luck to both of you in the election. I know only one of you can win, but good luck to both of you either way. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Voice of Wayne America podcast here on WayneAmerica.com. And our next podcast in this series will be with the mayoral race between Cale Geese and Pat Molina. So check that out when it comes up on our website. And make sure you go out and vote on the first Tuesday in November, on November 6th, when the election is held. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you with the next edition of Voice of Wayne America podcast here on WayneAmerica.com. Until then, we'll see you later.